Hey guys, welcome back to Mario's Shrimp Tanks. In today's video, it's going to be a completely different format. Today, I'm going to be sharing a story with you guys. Now, as you guys know, I mentioned this before. Before being a shrimp keeper, I used to be a fish keeper. A big-time cichlid fish keeper. But that's a story for another time. I'm actually gathering all the pictures for that, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure to subscribe. Keep updated with the channel. But today, I'm going to share a story with you guys about the time a few years back, me and the wife actually rescued a blood parrot cichlid from its death. And as dramatic as it sounds, it actually happened. And I'm really excited. I've been thinking about this, and I just want to share this with you guys. Now that we're gaining an audience, I thought maybe you guys would enjoy this. Now, I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to be showing you guys some pictures while talking over the pictures as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this story. Make sure to like the video. Share it with a buddy of yours. Let's get right to it. Okay, guys. So this story goes back to 2019. At the time, I had a basement full of fish tanks, and I'll share that story with you guys in some other video. But I had a basement full of fish tanks, and my wife looked into Facebook Marketplace, which is where I used to find a bunch of good deals on fish tanks. So in this day, she found a hexagon-looking fish tank, which I want to say it's about 20 to 30 gallons. It looks something like this. So I'm going to be putting pictures up here for you guys to see exactly what I'm talking about. And so as you guys can see, it looked in really good condition. This is what it looks like actually after we picked it up. And so we drove out there. It was in the city, in the same city we lived in. And when we get there, this is what we see. It was curbside pickup. Like, they just had them out there. There's a whole bunch of other electronics, lights and stuff. We didn't want any of that, right? We were just there for the hexagon tank. But there was also a 10-gallon tank next to it. You guys can see it here, right? So we didn't think anything of it, but I'm going to zoom in now and show you guys. When I looked in there, there's probably about 1.5 inches of water in that 10-gallon tank, which is probably about 1.5 gallons. And there's a blood parrot in there. And it was extremely pale. If you guys don't know this about blood parrots will change their colors pertaining to how stressed they are, right? So if they're extremely stressed, they'll be really pale. They'll get this black spots on their face, and that's exactly what this. Man, this fish was half dead, and so my blood was boiling. I was so mad. My wife was so mad. She was, I'm not sure, but I think she cried, and I was like, I got to take this home, and I did. So then I grabbed that. We rushed home. We grabbed the other tank as well, and once we got home, I had this 10-gallon tank. And, of course, like I mentioned earlier, I had a bunch of tanks before. So I was able to grab some established media, just throw it into the hang-on back filter, get it rolling. I threw some aquarium salt in there. Mind you, at the time, I don't think I knew much of anything of how to, like, make sure that the fish could recover safely, But I did some research, put it in clean water. I tried my best. I didn't feed it because I wanted to make sure that he, which we later learned was a she, would get comfortable first. And so that happened. I'm going to show you guys some pictures. This is probably about 3 days after. And this is what she looked like. And now, as you guys can see, she's swimming. She's not as pale. She's doing so much better. You can see a little jump in her little swim. Like, she was so much happier. But I knew there was still a long ways before she could get better. And so we did that. Consistency. So we kept her in a 10-gallon tank with, frequent water changes, being that it's kind of a big fish for a 10-gallon tank. But there's a quarantine tank, right? And so after that, this happened. We posted a picture on Facebook. I think it's called Fish Tank Enablers group. And, dude, like, the feedback that we got, everybody was so mad. Everybody wanted to know exactly where we picked it up from, like. And of course, we didn't disclose that, but it was just crazy to see how much people cared about this one fish. And so after that, I moved her into a 125-gallon tank, which you guys can see here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me pull up a picture real quick. Her tank mates at that point were an Oscar, a convict cichlid, and I think a green terror, and maybe a Jack Dempsey. Which, if you guys know, I mean, they're not exactly friendly fish, and so they're kind of aggressive. but I wanted to make sure that she was up and healthy 100% before I put her back in there. And so this is what she looks like there. As you guys can see, like, she's looking for food. She's up there. Like, she was never intimidated by the Oscar, which is crazy. The Oscar was, of course, just a juvenile because, of course, they get huge. But that's what happened, dude. And ultimately, I think her last home was a 150-gallon tank, which I'll show you guys now. I mean, I think I had it like an FX6 under or something like that. But so that happened. It was extremely cool. It was a very, very cool experience to be able to nurse it back to health. And then, of course, unfortunately, whenever I left Wisconsin back to Texas, I had to give it up. And it was just so hard on us. It was so hard for us to give up this one fish. I have hundreds of fishes or fish. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be pronounced. I have hundreds of fish. But this one fish just really just hurt us, letting her go. And we didn't have a choice. We couldn't just up and bring all the tanks I had. We're starting off new, like brand new. Like, it was just so hard on us. But this is ultimately what she looks like. And I'm glad she did go to a good home of a hobbyist that was really enthusiastic about keeping her. And so I hope you guys, that's the end of the story. I hope you guys like the story. Just a little series that now you guys probably haven't seen the setup before. I used to stream back in the day, a few years back. And so I have a whole setup here, which if you guys have questions, this is the perfect way for me to answer them, for me to talk to you guys now. I'm not considered going live yet, but I do appreciate you guys. And if you guys are still watching, if you guys like the story, make sure to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. I've also created a community Discord. It's in my Instagram bio. It's in my YouTube bio. It's everywhere. So it's a great community of fish keepers and hobbyists and shrimp keepers, obviously. So you guys want to see some more of that? You guys have any questions? Make sure to join. I think the link will be down here in the description as well. And I'll see you guys soon. Let me know what you guys think of this video down below in the comments. Y'all take care.